Getting ready for the FOMC meeting on September 20 and 21, 2016. The most important question: does America trust its households? The answer: perhaps not. I'm Gopalan Ramachandran, Ramach to my friends and associates, and my email is upturnmanifesto@gmail.com. Beneficiaries of the low Fed funds rate. How have the low interest rates affected households and families? Liquidity has surged since 2008. Have families, firms, and government been served equally? These are very important questions the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, will have to consider when it meets on September 20 and 21 to vote for or vote against a hike in the Fed funds rate. The near zero Fed funds rate has held back the economic recovery. I stated this in December 2015 and restated it in June 2016. And we've been grappling with these questions, the would and the should, the positive and the normative part of what the FOMC should do or would do when it meets on September 20 and 21. The most recent question or issue we addressed was why lenders seek good borrowers. In this context, we understood that borrowers are systematically rated for their ability to fulfill their obligations to lenders. Individuals have credit scores. Every company has a credit rating. The state and the municipal governments have their credit ratings, and the U.S. federal government too has its credit rating. The Fair Isaac Corporation gives or awards FICO credit scores to individual borrowers. Credit scores of individual borrowers have actually improved. But first, the raw data. We have data starting with October 2005 and going all the way to April 2015. What we notice is that the credit scores of individual borrowers have improved, although slightly, between 2008 and 2015. First, range 300 to 699, the percentage of the population in the first range has reduced to 45.2. It's moved up. Second range, 700 to 799, the population here too has reduced. It's now 34.9. Earlier, it was 35.6. People in this range too have moved up. And finally, in the range 800 to 850, the current percentage is 19.9. Earlier, it was 18.7. So very clearly, the credit scores of individual borrowers have improved after the crisis. But the allocation of debt to households has plunged drastically. From about 97.5% of GDP, that's household debt to GDP, in the year 2010, it's now a measly 80%. America's households have been subjected to a massive deleveraging, an unprecedented deleveraging. They don't want to be treated as very good borrowers. Others are, such as the federal government. The allocation of debt to government as a percentage of GDP has risen over 100% now. It's between 100 and 110%. It was about 80% or just over 80% soon after the recovery began. There's been a surge, there's been an absolute surge in the context of total public debt. The same can be said for credit flow to corporate businesses. And this has surged from about $6 trillion or $6.4 trillion to $8.4 trillion, a substantial jump. This is merely credit, short term, and when you look at overall debt, it's gone up from about $3.6 trillion to above $5.4 trillion. That's a 50% jump. A 50% jump. The GDP has not grown by 50%, but debt to companies has indeed grown by almost 50%. So, what do we say now? Debt to non financial corporations has surged, debt to government has surged, the US Federal Reserve has printed a lot of money, but America has failed to invest in its households. Let's repeat it. America has failed to invest in its households. It may not have as much trust in its households as it has in its businesses and government. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Gopalan Ramachandran. Ramach to my friends and associates, and my email is upturnmanifesto@gmail.com.